Very good. Thank you all for jumping on. Exciting call today. We're gonna have a lot of fun going over some numbers. So let's do leaderboards. Start out with this past week. Guys went out and had a great week. Top 10 for this past week. John Martini had one application, $1,527 direct to John Paul Vetter. We had Mr. Greg Shapiro, 6 applications. $1,681 direct to myself. Great app count. I love that. Mr. Lionel Anderson was a new writer for us this week. So congratulations, Lionel, who had 2 applications, $2,351 direct to Brett Applin. So new writer, congrats, Lionel. Mr. Brett Applin himself had 2 applications, $3,840 direct to John Paul Vetter. We had Donna Bates, 2 applications, $3,874 direct to Spencer Cushion. We had Spencer himself with 4 applications, $4,830 direct to myself. Bill Joe Cullum had 4 applications, $5,835 direct to Jeremiah Nolan. Great job, Bill, and I think that could be a high watermark for you in writing business. Congratulations, is definitely up there. So great job. We had John Paul Vetter, 4 applications, $6,521 direct to myself. Mr. Jeremiah Nolan, 7 applications, $7,677 direct to myself. And the number 1 writer for the week, the one, the only, the machine herself, Miss Stella Dinwiddie, had 10 applications. She led on app count for the week. So congratulations, Stella. And she led on APV with $9,645 in 1 week. That is an awesome week. So congratulations, Stella, for leading the pack this week. So congratulations. All right, guys. Hey, today's call is going to be a kind of a look back on 2019. We took a week or so to get the numbers compiled from the end of 2019. So we wanted this call to be kind of an end of year review. We've been talking a lot about goal setting for 2020, but hey, you got to take a moment, pause, and look at what we accomplished in 2019, and that set the foundation for 2020. And guys, it was wow, it was just an awesome year. So let's share with you guys kind of what happened on the master agency level. So all of you, everybody put together, all of our agencies, guys, we wow, this is amazing. $2,257,109 in annualized premium. So over $2 million, 2.2, 1,936 applications for that submission. Guys, that is almost 2,000 families that were protected. And gosh, that is an awesome number. We had 61.4% growth year over year from the year previous. And when I look at that number, when I first saw it, I'll have to confess there was a little bit of can kicking on my end. I was like, oh man, I knew we were ahead of pace. We actually back in I think September, I was at a meeting. We were about 80% year over year growth, and so we finished the year at 61.4%. But I had to kind of do a reality check, because any business that grows by 60% year over year is doing quite well. I mean, we're doing phenomenally well. And those numbers are mind-boggling. Guys, a big shout out and a big thank you to each and every one of you for making that happen. And, you know, I also look at the app growth, 1,936 apps, which was a 73% growth year over year from the year previous, from 2018. And guys, that's huge, because those are real families. You know, we've seen here just recently, some of you posted up on GroupMe or you know, in different places. So there have been some death claims come through recently. And, we kind of get hung up sometimes in the numbers and the wins and, production. And hey, that's all necessary. I mean, this is a business at the end of the day. And we got to be out making it happen. But when we're out making it happen, we also have to keep in mind that these are lives and families that we're protecting. I know in a couple of cases, the claims that were made, people were talking about, hey, I wrote that a year ago and the guy seemed fine. It seemed like he was in perfect health. And that's the case, guys. We don't know, any of these people that we're sitting in front of. It could be the last time that we see them, that anybody sees them. And it happens. So that's what we're in the business of, putting people in a better place, that if the unthinkable happens, which I kind of laugh a little bit at the unthinkable, because it's not going to happen to all of us, that it is going to it's going to have a major impact on their family's future. And even just the smallest policies make the biggest impact. So guys, hats off to you guys for going out. Almost 2,000 families that were helped. I know there was a certain percentage of that was also money protected, people's retirement. Retirement dollars rolled over into accounts where they'll never lose another dollar due to market loss. And guys, the market's been flying high, but we know at some point it's going to have to correct. And you guys helped protect a lot of people. So again, hats off. We had, so to get that 2.2 million written, we had a total of 111 riders over the year, guys. And I know, month over month, we don't have that many riders. Right now we're running about anywhere from 30 to 35 riders on average. But anybody that comes in and writes a case, and even if it's just one small little case, I think too many times we get too hung up on the big numbers and the people that are running at the highest levels, and it is great to recognize that. But if you came in and protected one family, that has impact, guys. That has impact on that family. Now, we want you to go out and protect a lot more than just one family, and we want you to do it not only for the people that you're out helping, but also for yourself and your business. But I want to take a moment and just, say for all 111 riders, even if that was just one application, thank you and a hats off. We had 84 new riders total for the year 2019, and we're definitely looking to grow in 2020. So let's look at the breakdown here. As far as base shops go, guys, we have 3 base shops here in this agency. So three separate agencies. Myself and my base shop, John Paul Vetter and Jeremiah Nolan. And that's actually how we were ranked. We were actually very close together. I came in, my base shop came in number 1 with 731 apps for $857,000. John Paul Vetter had 564 apps for $724,513. And Jeremiah came in at 641 apps, $674,916. And what I love about looking at that, if you notice, those numbers are all very close together, and that shows a lot of balance on this team. We want everybody running at a high level and winning, but we don't want just one person carrying the load, for everybody. And so that we're well distributed, and we're well positioned for a ton of growth in 2020, and each and every one of you are going to be a part of that. So we're excited about that. We in 2019, let's take a look at the top APV riders. We had Laura Pollard with $53,900. Greg Shapiro came in for the year at $72,269. Donna Bates had $96,048. Stella Dinwiddie had $129,235. And Stella, I want to take a quick moment, and hats off to you, because What this stat doesn't show is Stella did that in about 6 months. Guys, that's a pretty healthy run rate. I mean, that's stepping up and making it happen. So, and she got off. She's done well from the beginning, but she got off to a little bit of a slow start trying to figure these things out. But so to put up $129,000 in about 6 months, guys, that's solid. So Stella, congratulations. You're on an excellent track. I'm excited for you in 2020. Miss Julia Pappas at $143,682. Julia, that's an increase over 2018, pretty substantial increase if I remember right. So great job on that. Brett Applin had $143,944. Mr. Jeremiah Nolan, $196,422. Just missed the $200,000 mark. Jeremiah, if you get off your butt and go to work, man. I'm just kidding. He's a machine out there. He's also building a great agency, so I'm giving a little bit of grief. But great job. Just that, guys, that's just personal production. $196,000. That is nothing to sneeze at. Mr. Spencer Kushian had $225,861. He was number 2 on the year. Man, that is solid. Great job, Spencer. Number 1 rider for the year, and guys, this is a phenomenal number. Mr. John Paul Vetter with $341,451. Congratulations! That is a monster year, guys. That's getting out and getting it done right there. So congratulations, John Paul, for making that happen. And I know even with that, again, he's building a team, so his attentions are divided and quite a bit of travel throughout the year. So that's strong. That's stout. Then on the app count side, do the top 5 here. Stella Dinwiddie had 117 apps for the year. Julia Pappas 123. Jeremiah Nolan 152. Spencer had 201, and John Paul had 243. So guys, great job going out and protecting those families. That is awesome. 2019, we had some growth, guys, and you saw it just in the number of riders and the APV. But part of what you've got to look at is great that we have increased numbers, but you also want to be looking at an organization and where's the leadership coming from. And we had some folks step up big time on leadership. Guys, we broke out a new key leader just a few months ago, Brett Applin. Guys, that's a good indicator of somebody who is moving forward and building a team. And I should back up here. I missed a line here. We also had a new team leader in Julia Pappas. So Julia taking a step forward in her team's growth. So congratulations, Julia. New key leader, Brett Applin, and both of those folks have got their sights set on the next horizon. We also had a new agency owner, and Mr. John Paul Vetter, about midway through the year, broke out as agency owner. Set up that contract with Symmetry Financial Group that he now has a business. He is an agency. God forbid anything were to happen, his family could continue receiving that revenue. But more importantly, it gives him a foundation to build on and really build a legacy moving forward. Part of all of this, guys, is we have to look at our growth factor, and growth comes through building. And our top 5 builders for the year, and I appreciate the work that goes into it, because guys, the building side, the sales side, you can go out, we can make calls today and go sell and make money tomorrow. The building side is a long game. Building, you've got to put in activity, a lot of activity, and it doesn't even start showing up in the pipeline for about 90 days minimum. A lot of times longer than that. It could be easily 180 days before you really even start to see the wheels turning on the building side. And even when it starts turning, it's painfully slow when it starts turning. And you know, those of you builders who really engaged heavily in that activity, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know, that book, The Slight Edge, talking about getting that flywheel going, that huge flywheel, and the energy it takes to get that thing spinning takes a lot of upfront work. But guys, hats off to the builders for this year. Spencer Kushian, number 5, had 41 new recruits. Julia had 49. Brett had 56. John Paul had 56. And then myself, we had 66 that we added this year. So great job. Hats off to the builders. And you know, that's how this business grows. That's how you go out and you duplicate. You make more of an impact on those on those clients. Because if you look at it, guys, I started 4 years ago, actually January 2016. Okay, it was just me, and so we started with one, and I guarantee you, number one, I was not a rock star in the field by any means, especially compared to some of the numbers that people are putting up now. And there's no way that I personally could get to $2.25 million on my own pen. I suppose there's probably a way if I didn't eat and sleep, but at some point that thing would derail. Either that or I became just a monster producer in annuities and stuff like that. But guys, it started with one, but here we sit 4 years later, and you know, 2.25 million, 111 riders, almost 2,000 families protected, death claims have been paid, money's been protected. And you know, the message I want to share with you today, looking at these 2019 numbers, is you can start your legacy right now in 2020. Guys, I guarantee you, when I started 4 years ago, number one, didn't have a clue what I was doing. Number two, didn't have a clue how I was going to get there. And number three, you know, I just made the decision that this was going to happen. I mean, I saw what folks like a Jacob Pogue or a Marshall Whalen had built. And so while I didn't know what I was doing, didn't know how I was going to get there, I just decided I was going to do it. And that's really all it takes. I mean, that's oversimplification. I get that. Yeah, you're going to say, Chris, there's a lot of work and a lot of, you know, this sales side thing is driving me nuts, and this building thing, I'm frustrated. It's been weeks or months or whatever. I get that. But ultimately, it starts with a decision. And I love what Brian Pope said one day on a call, and it's something about Brian. He always comes up with the best one-liners. They said, if you make the decision, just make the decision, and then forget about it. Move on. Meaning, just go do it. Make the decision. There's no plan B. There's no, well, we'll see if this works. Well, I'm going to try this. No, you just make the decision. This is what I'm going to do. We'll figure it out. And trust me, guys, I can speak from experience. I have made, you know, more mistakes in this process than anyone could count. In fact, you know, any of you who've been at any of the meetings that I've attended and spoke from the front, I've joked a lot of times, but it's true. If I got paid for the amount of mistakes that I've made, I would already own my own private island and be flying to these meetings on a private jet. Because I guarantee you, I've screwed this thing up more ways than you can count. But the thing that I have done right is I've just been consistent and I've stayed the course. And that's, at the end of the day, that's all it takes, guys. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to fall down. You're going to, you know, bloody your nose, but you just get back up and you keep pressing forward. That's it. It's that simple. Now, it's going to take a lot of work. Going to take a lot of effort. Going to take plugging in, growing. Going to take, you know, self-development. All those things, yes. You know, so it's more than just obviously staying here. It's staying here and growing yourself. But you can start your legacy in 2020. So what we need moving forward, guys, we need more agency owners. We need more people who are wanting to take this thing and turn it into something bigger than themselves. To have that business, to have that that opportunity to create a legacy for themselves, for their family, for their future, to protect more clients than they can personally go out and help on their own pen. So, our goal as an agency, as a master agency, I looked at the numbers and I said, there's no reason we can't double. We did $2,257,109 in 2019. Guys, I'm setting the goal and laying it down right here that we're going to do $4,514,218 in 2020. We're going to double this thing. Now, that's a lofty goal. And again, talking about businesses don't double year over year. You look at, even, any industry, even some of the fast growing industries like tech. I mean, it's pretty rare to see that, but it can happen in this business. It can happen with a group of champions like we have here and that we're going to be adding to. And so that's why I said we need more agency owners. Part of my goal is I want, this year break out 3 new agency owners, 9 new key leaders. Now, I'm going to be heavily involved in that, but I can't do it alone. I'm looking for those people on this team who want to be one of those agency owners, who want to be one of those key leaders. And that starts with you starting today, this month, like I did January 2016, and just making the decision, I'm going to build something here. Guys, it takes, if you could become an agency owner in 11 months from a dead stop. In other words, from day one, if you just absolutely hit every marker, going through the promotions, hitting all the check marks, you can do it in 11 months. Now, I'll be honest with you, obviously the average is not that quick. I'd say probably the average is about a year and a half, maybe 2 years, but it can be done in 11 months. So what I'm looking for is people who are willing to step up and step into that role. Step into that role as builder, step into that role of building something, building a legacy. So what we're going to be doing, I talked with Scott about this as we were doing the beginning of the year planning, talking about what his agency did. For those of you who don't know, Scott Mank is my mentor, person that brought me into the business. We're all part of his master agency, the Mank Agency. So that agency seen massive growth in 2019, and I talked with him a little bit about what they did to achieve the kind of growth that they had. And one of the key factors that he did in 2019, and we're going to implement in 2020, is he made the decision at the beginning last year. He wanted to do a focus on developing new agency owners. He did one new agency owner out last year, has 2 more that they didn't quite break out last year, but they will here this year. And that came from an activity that he started at the beginning of the year, and that was a once a month builder's call. And I hesitate a little bit using that term because it's a little bit too generic. They were very intentional. This was a very purposeful call where they dug into numbers. This was a very challenging call where people had to show up with their personal activity and share that with the group. And so there was a lot of accountability. There was a lot of support, a lot of training, and a lot of intentionality on getting people to that next level, getting them to that agency owner. We're going to do the same thing, guys. What I'm looking for is people that want to be on that track to step up. If you're already an agency owner, this is not for you. So this is for the brand, not brand new people, but for people who want to get to that level. I want to be an agency owner, and I want to get on track to make that happen in 2020. So what I'm going to have Laurie do is put out probably like a Google sign-up sheet. Laurie, you can kind of figure out what's the best format to use. But we on a Google sign-up sheet. We're going to post that here over the next week. Give people plenty of opportunity to sign up. If you have an interest in that, Sign up on that sheet. We are going to start that call by the end of January. I haven't got the date set yet. I'm actually going to work with Scott and have him on that first call. So we're going to kind of coordinate, and again, we're going to pattern very closely what they did in the bank agency. But guys, if you want an agency, if you want to become an agency owner, be looking for that sign up, get on that sheet. But also, I'm going to be very realistic with you. Be prepared to be challenged, because this is not going to be just a typical call where you're just going to listen to me drone on about how to build an agency. That's not what the purpose of this call is. It's going to be a highly intentional call where we're digging into numbers, we're digging into techniques, we're digging into the tools that we're using, and we're digging into your numbers specifically. So you're going to have to come to the table with what you've done over the past month and be willing to share that with the group. So there's going to be a lot of accountability. And guys, that's going to be key to making this happen, because a lot of times we know what needs to happen to to succeed, but if we don't have somebody there to look at those numbers with us, it's pretty easy to say, well, I'm going to let that slide and I'll pick it up next month. This is going to be a call for those elite flyers who want to achieve that level. So guys, as I wrap up the call and as I look at these numbers, again, just a huge hats off, congratulations to all of you who really went out and just made a massive impact in 2019. And I am humbled as I look at these numbers again. You know, when I started 4 years ago, just me. But you know, the question comes to mind: what if I didn't make that decision? You know, how many of you would be here? You know, and not to pat myself on the shoulder. You know, that's not at all what this is about. The point I'm trying to make is, if you don't make the decision yourself, how many people are you robbing of their opportunity? Okay. So if you have that desire, and look, if you're here, your only interest is in sales, this is not a message for you. Don't worry. We're not, twisting your arm telling you have to build an agency. That's not what this is about. For those of you who saw this as a business opportunity from day one, or as you've gotten in, you've recognized this as a business opportunity. This is the time to make the decision, not only to impact you, but to impact your family, but to impact your community, to impact your clients, and really to impact, make an impact on, the larger world. Because whatever decision that you make, from a success standpoint, from starting to make those contacts, from starting to bring people in, that's going to have an impact on them, their families, their communities, their clients. And that's where you go from just one guy that doesn't have a clue what he's doing to now an agency that's helping nearly 2,000 families be better protected, better cared for, safer, and feeling better when they go to bed at night. So guys, can't thank you enough for these numbers and for your effort that you're putting in. And again, I will say I will work with anyone. I will work tirelessly to help you get where you want to go in this business if you just make that decision to get there. So make that decision today. Join us, and let's make 2020 the biggest year yet. So, guys, thank you all. Appreciate you all. You are awesome people. I love everything that you do for this agency. And let's go out and make 2020 the biggest year yet.
Chris, right, I want to add one thing before we drop off.
Yep. Go ahead.
I just want to take a quick minute to thank you for your mentorship and your tutelage. Everything that we've been able to accomplish over this last year, the 18 months that I've been here. I just want to tell you myself personally, if I don't say it enough, shame on me, but thank you for all that you've done, your mentorship. And I'm certainly grateful that you made the decision, 4 years ago to pursue this, and that I ran across the ZipRecruiter ad that you had about a little over a year and a half ago, to be blessed enough to have found this opportunity. And so grateful for this organization, the founders of the company, this opportunity, who we are, what we represent, and everybody within this organization, and specifically within my organization and my team, and Brett Applin, for his leadership and his growth as a mentor and what he's doing with his group and his team. And he's on his run now for AO himself. So could not be more proud of the folks within this company and within this organization specifically. And I just wanted to make that comment before we got off the call. So thanks to everyone, especially to you, Chris. Again, thanks to everybody. 2020 is the year. If you got a dream and you want to make it a reality, stop thinking about it. Stop debating it. Jump. There are people that are on here doing it. There's no reason you can't. Let's go.
Awesome. Thank you, John Paul. Appreciate those words. And for those of you who are jumping on the chat, a big thank you again to you guys, and so grateful for each and every one of you. So awesome to be a part of this group. So, all right, guys, thank you so much. Let's go out. Let's make it happen. And excited for this year, January 5-week turn-in, guys. We still got a lot of time, a lot of business to put in the pipeline. So thank you all.